Okay, okay, so I want to jump to explaining this one here so we can move on, okay? So, for this one, a lot of steps here, a lot of things going on. Let's see. So that's step number 4. Okay, so the first one, create an action and a view, both called list students. So the view is here, list students. The action is here under controllers. So we have the action here, list students. Now, create 4 hard-coded students. Many ways to create those students, many. This was my chosen way. Does it mean that your way is wrong? No, it does not, okay? This was just my way. I declared the list of students, and then using what we have learned last class, I have right away initialized the list of students, and then created each student. Here's student 1, and then the other students, and then the other one, and the last one. Again, you could have done this many different ways. For instance, you could have created the students and then create a variable called student1 and then add 2 students. And then create a variable called student2 and then add 2 students. Many different ways. But that's why we have gone through last class that I show you how to create and initialize a collection at the same time. So here's my list of students. At the end, I send my list of students to the view, and my view is linked to an enumerable. I could have made this linked to a list. It would result the same output. It would be the same thing here. But I use the enumerable because we have to get used to, well, using enumerable. Because as I said before, it's more efficient with data. So very soon we're going to be dealing with data from the database. So enumerable is more efficient than list. We will also be using something a little bit later called iQueryable. It's yet another type of collection. And next class, you'll have a preview of that already in your next bonus assignment because you're going to see that through the week. But anyway, enumerable. It's okay to send to an enumerable a list like this because list inherits from enumerable. So I could just do this. And now from here, I can loop through the students. I could say var s, or I could say student s. And then for each student, I output the properties of that student. Okay? I just call @s. And by the way, for each, I'm using here the razor syntax. I put the @ prior to for each. And then I open curly braces. I close curly braces. And we can have HTML in the middle. And then whenever you want to call the property of the student, we just use the @ symbol. And why here we are using model? Because model now, it doesn't have just one student. What I saw a lot of you have done was something like this. Well, here, this model is expecting 1 student, but I'm sending a list of students, okay? So this model has to expect a list of students, okay? I could say var as well. Remember last class, we can use var, or we can use, no, be specific here. Let me see here, yeah, so we have gone through 4.2, 4.3 just now. In the last one, 4.4, we create a link from index to the list using ASP-action. So go back to the index, and now I can just say a tag, which is a link tag, and I put as a parameter esp-action. The action is the list students. When this runs, it will replace with href/home/list students. Okay, so as you can see here, if I look at the source code, see, that action there got replaced with this one. How does it know that it's home controller? Because as I did not specify the controller here, it assumed that it's the home one, because it's the one that this file belongs to. Okay, and then I say ASP action. So again, it builds the link for us. Questions? Sure. The code? Yeah, I'll upload the code in a second, but which code do you want me to show? Which one? Okay, list is here. Yep. Your question?
In this, mine was fine without having that model I remember.
Yeah, but it should have something else.
So it should have had something then.
It was fine without?
Yeah,
Did you print the list of students?
yeah.
Okay, show me.
I didn't have this original.
Oh, you didn't have that. Oh, I see. I see, because it was going there implicitly.
Yeah.
I see. I didn't know that implicitly it would work, to be honest with you.
Well, I can hit it again.
I thought you're saying that there was something else out there. Interesting. I didn't know that you don't have to define there, that you don't have to strong type it. Okay, let's try one thing here. Close it there, the application. On your student here, interesting, student as model. Okay. Now I know. Now, can you just time? No, but it will work there. Yeah, I don't know. No, that's fine. That's fine. Can you call student as var instead of students? Can you just there where it says no? It will work there. But I just want to see something. After the @s, scroll down. Yeah, just you see @s, the many lines there. Put the dot there again after. Yeah, just put the dots there. No. Yep. Dots. Okay, so it doesn't show because it does know. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so, yeah, see, okay, it works, great, but it does know which model is being used. Because now, in my case, I can say dots, and it knows that it's a student. In that case there, it does not know. Well, again, now I know that you don't need to do it in a strongly typed way. Okay, so let me see where we are. Okay, so we have done this. I'm going to upload this code there. Tricentennial. Okay, so before we progress, here's what I'd like to. Let's stop there the exercise for a second. I just have something here to mention quickly, and then we can return. Okay, so test number one. Test number one is coming soon. So I would like to ask whether test 1 should be done before the reading week or after the reading week. For me, it doesn't matter. For you, it may, because you have many other tests to do as well, usually during this time. So I'll put up for vote. Majority, we'll get it, okay?
Can we wait till next week to decide?
Why?
I don't know about the other subject. Nobody discussed this topic.
Hopefully, they will put up for vote as well.
Are we allowed to use our laptops?
Yes, open book, open web, open Google, not open. Yes.
We're going to,
It's a project based. It's a code. You're going to code like what we're doing today, and you're going to upload at the end of the day.
You can copy line of code from Google.
You can. You can.
can we take help from the coding we've been doing in the class?
Sure, you can open all the projects there, have everything open there. And I don't expect you to memorize the codes.
I'm not going to do the lecture,
We're not going to do the,
reading test.
oh, actually, no written tests. The last test will be a multiple choice plus a little bit of coding there. But yeah, no written test. Do you want a written test?
No.
Okay, I can change. Okay, just checking. Just checking. Yeah,
And then coding.
multiple, but just because it's multiple, it's not that easy, okay? This multiple test is quite hard anyway.
Based on book or based on PowerPoint?
Based on the content that we are talking about. Everything will be covered here, so everything will be there. Okay, but again, this is up for voting either before reading week or after reading week. Okay, so let's do this quickly. Okay, so nearpods. Okay, so let me just close this. It's anonymous. I'm not going to show names. And I'll keep it here. That's it. So nearpod.com, and then that's the codes. Take it a minute there. Actually, if you want to see the exact dates, so reading week is this week here, from 20 of October to 27, okay? So it will be either the 18th or the 1st. Okay. Yep.
Will the format be similar to how the assignment was outlined?
Yeah, it is. It is, but in a way that you can handle within an hour and a half, because you're gonna have to do within the hour and a half. An hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, more or less. Okay, so select yours and submit. You have to submit, okay? So if you don't submit, it won't be counted. Okay, I'm just gonna look at it because you can keep voting there and things keep changing. As soon as I flip there, whatever I see will be the one.
Done.
Okay, so before the reading week, majority. Okay, so let's get done then. Okay, I'll give another minute there. Here's the code again, just in case.
Now that's how you start opening extra tabs, plug it in.
Okay, it's done. So again, whatever I see there, it's it, and that's it. So after the reading week, okay, that's it. After reading week. After the reading week.
Oh, that's got it.
Again, it's done. After reading week.
You guys.
Okay, so moving forward here. Okay, so that's it. So it will be on the on the first Friday after. Okay, before you go back to exercise, I need this as well. Again, let's forget the exercise for a second. Look here. Everyone, look in here. Your neighbors there, maybe look here. Yes, please, look here. Okay, have you seen this before? It's not a traffic lights, okay? In the context of a class. Okay, so we are in our 4th week. So you got a sense already of how I do things. So it's not too late in the game for me to change things. So I want to ask today what I should stop doing, what I should start doing, and what I should continue doing. It doesn't mean that I will do whatever you said there, but I will listen to it, I'll have a look, and I will evaluate and see if there's anything that everybody is claiming that should be done, should be changed, or should be continued, and then we adjust. I will share the results next class. This is anonymous, just 3 quick questions. Again, you just put whatever you have in mind, anonymous, so go hard, don't be easy, okay? That's it. I'll just share a link on Padlet. Take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, get this one done. And so stop, start, continue. It's there. And again, 3 quick questions. Anonymous, I don't know who is saying what. And I'll just give 3 minutes here for you to get this done. 1 minute per question. The link is again there on Padlet, okay? Link is on Padlet. The feedback is not here, okay? Feedback is not here. It's there in this link. Click the link. Click the link. Well, I can't stop the marks.
this arrow here. I don't know why it's there. It says it can't find the student.
Okay, have a look and see if it's in. See, view imports 1. You see, they should be view imports.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to take a quick attendance here. Ari? Alessandra? Arsh? Arthur? Carmelo? Charles? Dasson? Dimitri? Frank? Yeah, well, Won Young? Is that you're not? Yeah, so should I call it by Frank or not?
Frank is not the official name.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna forget that I know that it's Frank. Guan Yang. Hassan? Yep. Hui Huang? Johnny? Isaac? James? Jashan? Min? Jong Min? Rose? Lascelles? Luis? Muscan? Nayu? Rene? Rohan? Shane? Stephen? Sunil? Tangila? Keong Kwang? Yep. Xiao Jing Shu? Young Kim? Yep. If I did not call your name, let me know, okay? Did I? Sorry.
My name is Hui Huang.
So it's
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
okay.
Thank you.
Hui Huan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Sorry about that. Okay. So you should be done with the thing there. It's fine. So let's keep moving forward here. Okay, so I have provided the source code already. Yeah, the source code is there. So step number 5, I will be doing that, and you can have a look here and follow as I go along, but I'll provide the code at the end. So this time, we're going to be using layouts. A layout is a file that you're going to be able to share common HTML elements throughout your different views. If you look now, if you look at the 2 views that you have added, you're going to see a lot of common elements, a lot of duplication. You have body tags, you have HTML tags, you have head tags. So a lot of the same thing is going on the different views. So how can we have some sort of a template that you can say, hey, use this basic layout on all your views. That's what you're going to be seeing now. So we're going to be creating a file with this name. Now here's the thing. Differently from view imports, because view imports, it has to be that exact name. View imports has to be just like that, underscore view imports dot cshtml. In our case here, in terms of the layouts, we can call this however we want, as long as we have an underscore at the beginning. I recommend that you keep these keywords, layouts, because then you can remember, oh, this is not a regular view, this is a layout view. This is, okay? And then you can call basic, admin, home, whatever you want. Even, as I said, from here to here, you can call however you want. But I recommend to keep the keyword layout to remind you that this is a layout, okay? But we have to create the layout in a special folder, in a folder called shared. So the first thing that I'm going to do, actually, I need to close this. I just want to see if I have the right version open. Yes. Yeah. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to create a folder under views called shared. So here's a folder. Then under that folder, I'm going to create the basic layout. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to add new item. From here, I can go to web, asp.net, and I have a Razor layout. It comes by default called as underscore layout. But because I want it to be called basic layout, I'm going to add basic here. So underscore, I don't have a way to put this. OK, let's see if I can. Yeah. I can put a little bit higher. So basic layout.cshtml. I'm going to confirm there. So again, using the Razor layout template. So here's what we have. We have the basic HTML structure of a page. And I have this view bag here, which I'll explain in a second. And I have @renderBody. Okay? As next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on each one of my views, and I'm going to get rid of the common elements. Okay? So let's open the first one. But when I say common elements, I'm referring to the common HTML elements, not the codes, not the model up there. Just let's look at the HTML and see what is it common between one and the other one. So let me flip back and forth here. What do you see as the same in terms of HTML? What is that? The doc type. So doc type is the same. What else? HTML header, the heads. What else we have? We have body here. We have the meta, which is the same. Title, is it the same? No. It's slightly different, isn't it? However, I'm going to consider that as the same, because you're going to do a trick in a second. See, in our basic layout, we have viewbag.title here. It means that this is a dynamic piece of information inserted in our layout. So we're going to handle that difference in a slightly different way. So for now, I'm going to ignore that they are slightly different. I'm going to include the title as part of what I'm going to get rid of. Okay? So let's start to get rid of the duplication here. So I'm just going to keep in the view the core of that view. The core is this part here. So I'm going to get rid of the top in the index view. I'm going to get rid of the top as well in the list view. Then we have the body, the main body of our view. Here is a table. Over there we have two paragraphs. But at the bottom, we have something common here. See? Body HTML and body HTML. Let's get rid of both of them, okay? Get rid of here, get rid of here. And now, again, for both of them, we just have the essential part of each view. Okay? So, great. We have the basic layout, we have the index, but right now, we are setting the layout of the index and the list of students to null. So we are not setting any layouts. They were standalone files. But now we have to change, and we have to set the layout to the basic layout. So with this line, we are saying, hey, for this view, use the basic layout. We have to do the same thing for the index. We have to set the layout to our basic layout. So what I'm saying here is that when you want to use index, use the basic layout. When you want to load list of students, use the basic layout, and then load the list of students. Where will it load it? Will it be loaded inside the basic layout? Right here. You see, when it says render body, this method will bring whatever is inside the view inside this spot here. It's like if I'm trying to load the list of students, this part, the HTML part, gets inserted inside the basic layout by replacing the render body method. So render body method gets the contents of the index view, of the list of students view, and insert them right here. So the other parts, they are common, and this part here, the body, is variable. It's variable depending on which view we are using. Okay? Let me run this. Nothing will change much because we are keeping the same boilerplate HTML, the same basic HTML. So if I look at the view source, view page source, see, I have, if you compare, I have this part here at the top. Here it is. I have this part here at the bottom. Let me zoom this. See, I have this, and here it is, and this is the top part. And here is the top part. What is that? Yes, title is empty. So we're gonna address the title in a second. So you see, there is nothing here in the title. That's okay. We're gonna address that. Now, if I look at the list of students, I'm gonna see the same thing here. View page, view source. See, top part, title is empty. In the bottom part, we have the common part there. Okay? Now, how do we address the title? Because the titles are different. Well, here's the thing. View bag, you saw a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, that we can use view bag to move information from the controller to the view. But we can also use view bag to move information from the views to the layout. What is the information that's going to move there? We're going to set the title in the views, and we're going to send this back to the layout by doing one extra line of code on each of our views. We're going to say, I'm going to go to the index, and I'm going to just hit enter. By the way, this is a code block. When you see, this is a razor code block. When you see at, and then curly braces, opening and closing, whatever is inside of here, those are C# lines. Well, very much like C#. You see, we have the line, and then you have semicolon at the end to indicate that the line is over, and then you can keep expanding this code block and put more lines of code there. So again, this is a razor code block. You open with an at curly braces, and you close with a curly braces at the very bottom. So here I'm going to just say viewBag.title equals to, and I'm going to say, let's say homepage. This will be the title of my index. And then I'll do something similar in the list of students. I'm just going to say list of students. Now, usually when you make changes to the view, you can just reload your page if your code is still running. So if I reload this one here, look at the title. See, title has changed here. List of students. Let's go to the main URL. Look, you see, now we have home page. If we look at the codes, see, now we have the title tag. It's filled up. Okay? So this is how you can, even though they are using a shared layout, but you can insert some variables there that can make, some unique piece of information inside, embedded in our template. Okay, so that's about template. Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, so we saw the render body, we saw the layout, we showed the view bag for the title. Any questions come to mind? Anything? Are we going all the way? Well, if you have a commitment, by all means, you can leave, but most likely yes. Okay.
And we use the render body for the segment one.
You can. I'm not asked. I have not asked specifically for a layout file, but if you want to use some advanced features, that's fine. Assignment 1 is very, very simple, but it will get more complex. Okay, so number 5 here. Okay, so I'm going to upload the source code for number 5. Okay, number 6. It's with me again. So I want to explain that as well. So far, let's just recap a little bit. New files that we have seen, and some old files that we have seen again. Underscore view imports we can use to share libraries, to share references like the tag helper, namespaces. We saw the layout that we can share HTML. Now you're going to see the underscore view starts, where we can share blocks of codes. We can share C# codes across the different views. That's, in this case here, we have to call it underscore view start, exactly like that. There's no flexibility here. So if we go to the codes, and do I have this? Yeah. So if you go to the code, and then this file stays right underneath the view folder. So we click on the view folder, right click there, we go to add, new item, and then we have view start. View start, again, it comes pre-populated with the name underscore view start. We keep that, we click on add, and that's what we have. Now, before that, I should have mentioned what is it that we are trying to do, which code we are trying to move there. So let me do this. Here is the index view. Between the index view and the list of students view, which line of codes at the top, which block of codes it's common between them? The layout. The layout is common between them. okay? Student, the model is a little bit different. One, we are using an enumerable. The other one, we are using just students. So the view start, we can move common blocks of codes to the view start. So I can just say, and view start is smart enough to know that, hey, most likely he wants to use, the layout. So we're just going to be moving the layout there. That's the only common line of code that we have. However, if we had more common lines of code, we could move all of them to the view start. View start is the code that runs first before any other codes in the specific views. So we can go to the index now, get rid of this line, and list of students, get rid of this line as well. Now you may say, but Edison, we are just doing this just to save one line of code. Well, now you know that if you have more common lines of code, you can move all of them to the view start. Yes, for this particular example, we are moving just one line of code, but it could be more lines of code. If you have a more complex application, you most likely would have more lines of code in common. Okay?
So like if I have more than 3-4 views, then it should be common on all of them, and then I can.
Yeah, if you have more, if you have many views and you have the same layout being applied to all of them, yes, you can do that for all of them. If I run this, you're going to still see the same output because, again, now we are using a view layout. Sorry, I start a view start. Okay. Okay. Provides, yep, okay, good. Good. Okay, so great. So let's see here. I will upload the code of that step as well. Okay, perfect. And then, now this step is all for you. So I'm just going to explain that. It looks like a lot, but you're going to see that it's quite straightforward. We're going to be using the if statement and the switch statement in our Razor script, in our Razor view. This is about the list of students. So when we are presenting the students in the loop, we're going to test if the GPA of the student is greater than or equal to 2. If it is, let's print this message there. In the same column that we show the name of the GPA of the student, we show dash grade GPA. If it's less than 2, keep working on the GPA. So you're going to do a test using, for the first one, using the if statement. For the second one, you're going to use the switch case. If the course code is comp229, show in the course code column, show web application development. If it's course comp100, show programming 1. Course comp123, show programming 2. This case, and else, if it's not one of those, show other course. Again, use the if statement here, use the switch case statement here. Okay? In your Razor codes, inside of the list of students view, when you are doing the loop. When you are looping, you're going to do the if, and you're going to do the switch statement here. If you need a 5 minutes break, that's the right time to do just that, actually. Sit up. Yep, I'll be there in a second.
But it in the eraser.
In the view, in the list of students view.
So, but on the column on this one.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. Inside, so inside of this column, yeah, inside of the column.
I check to change the same as you, but I cannot change to the list student view. I don't know why.
Okay, so let's have a look at this. So, okay, let's see the view imports. Go to the view imports.
Yep.
Let me see here. Okay, help, start. See MVC. I think MVC is M capital. VC is lowercase. I think.
Okay, this one.
Go ahead, save it.
So,
Go ahead, check there again. Okay, that's a different problem. Okay, close there. Check there. Check. Go to. Sorry, go to index here.
yeah, yes.
See, now it's highlighting.
Yeah.
But let's see here. List students. Let's see the action. Can you show me the action list students? No, it's not a controller. See, this should not be a new controller. This should be an action inside of home controller.
So I copy this one.
Yeah, it should be called list students. So again, list student is just an action inside.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Those should be called the control, right?
Um,
The if statement.
the if is not there. The if is in the view. So it's in the view. So in the list students view.
Oh, it's the view.
Okay.
I'm trying to run the page, but it's asking not correct.
Okay, so let's close that. You see HTTPS? It's one of the first steps is not to use HTTPS. So we have to close all, right click the student system there. Yep, go to properties, debug, and then uncheck enable SSL. That's it, save it.
Config. Oh, okay.
Okay, run it. Okay. Does that work? Any,
I don't know where to write it. Under the GP go here, but I think it would just show
Yeah.
me this code.
yeah, remember, you see, you have to use the, you have to see how do you write an if statement in Razor. Sure.
I want to use nesty statement. Sure, with that one factor too. How can I use a nesty statement? I want to use.
Else, yeah, you can just use else, then open curly braces, like what you use, like what you would use
This
in,
one?
yeah.
I can do just.
Well, not like, I mean, it's curly braces. Remember that else
yeah.
is curly
But-
braces.
But if I want to, not just if else, I want to nest it.
Oh, I get it. So you can put inside,
Inside
here inside.
here.
Yeah, here, inside of the else. You can do another if.
If again.
Yeah,
Oh, good job. Not efforts. Not efforts.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It should be inside of the for each.
Inside, yes, inside. Because for each one you have to test.
Yeah.
If you're not sure about the syntax of how to do the if in the switch, you may want to check the link that I provided for the reading during the week, okay? So it's under week 3 on the Centennial.
Just for future reference,
Yep.
if you ask us for this, should we actually check both, or is it fine to check one and that sends up
Yeah,
the
Devs. It becomes Devs, yeah.
So
You-
if this comes up again, like an assignment or a
Yeah.
midterm, it's
You can
fine.
use Devs, yeah.
Okay, it's one to make sure.
We don't have the course code.
The course code.
Yeah, it's not part of the
It's not the model there. Can you open the?
student. So
No. Can you open the PowerPoint?
oh
I may have forgotten there.
yeah, I think. Sorry, which one exactly?
It's the. Sorry, can you scroll down?
Yeah.
It's the. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Because I think that I may have forgotten there. So, number 2 there.
Right there.
Yeah, course code. The first one.
Oh my god.
No problem.
So I just added this style sheet.
Yep.
And then you just wanted us to make a class and then do some stuff for it, do some stuff on that. Like a
For
class
the student.
For the table.
Well, we are using Bootstrap. We're going to be using Bootstrap. Bootstrap
Okay,
has
so
a
just use the built-in ones.
yes, and table is one of those.
Okay.
A class. There is a class called table.
Okay.
Okay. Again, have a look at your questions, the questions that you have submitted. If we have not addressed them so far, you may want to ask them on Padlet, okay? The questions that you have submitted as the bonus about Razor. If you have not sorted them out, you should ask.
Sorry. but the lead didn't show up, right? I have
Okay.
done whatever.
Okay,
showed.
that's fine. So you see, also it's not, usually it's a bold, you can see in a different font, a bold purple. So, yeah, so, but it's not, so it means that the tag helpers are not working here. So can you open view imports? See, it's
just
missing a
copied.
little space here.
Oh
See, after com, put a space there. Refresh, in Microsoft, you see, Microsoft as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if the space will make a difference or not, but I know that the eye will make a difference. Give it a try. See if it. Just refresh the.
Oh, yeah,
the
it's purple. Yeah,
oh yeah, that's it.
thanks.
No problem. How are you doing here? Stuck? Oh no. Yeah.
I don't know.
What's up?
I couldn't follow you up from number 4 after number
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, but I'm providing
Yeah.
the files. So again, we need to carry on,
Yeah.
and you need to ask. That's the reason why we stop so many times. So again, just ask. Okay,
Okay.
test will be like that,
Yeah.
and you cannot ask. Think about which part you got stuck, and then again, maybe I can just help you with that part that you got stuck there. What's up?
This table right here, we're trying to get.
Yep, awesome. The GPA, yeah. That's it.
Are you doing anything else?
So right after this, I'll just mention about the next bonus and a reminder for the assignment next week. But that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. So again.
Jumping into bootstrap. I've been facing a problem since too long. Whenever I try to run my code, after using the action thing, I'm not able to get the hyperlink.
Okay. So let's close there. So let's go to the view imports.
The input.
Yeah. See, MVC student, it's all, student is not there, should not be there. There's, check that out. Yeah, I don't know if it's just, I think there is something else there as well.
I think
No,
that's-
there's no student there. I know that it's not student. It might be something else. Again, I don't save that on top of my head. Just have a look here. But that's it. It's tag helpers. Oh, tag. See, that's the one. No problem.
You will post a link for the bonus?
Yes, everything will be posted there. Okay? What is that?
Shall we get the percentage? Like,
The
I didn't come Wednesday, I text you.
oh, for so
Section 4.
section 4. Okay, so let me take care of that. Actually, let's do it here. What's your name again? No. Okay.
Last name is
Yep.
Hassan.
Got it.
Yes.
Perfect. That's okay.
She's using all of them to our assignment one, right? Which
Oh,
we learned today.
all of what? All an assignment? No, not really. I mean, no, you don't. You're gonna have opportunities to use that, but what you needed, the knowledge that you needed to use for assignment 1, it was for the first 2 classes. So you don't need that. Okay. Done in a second.
How can I remove this one and this one if I don't want?
Yeah, you just remove it from the codes.
Because, like,
Just
I
go.
did it here like this, and here it should be.
You just delete here. Delete here.
This one?
That's it. That's the line. That code is coming from this line.
It's not mandatory, right? Or how
No, this one is just outputting the code number. So if you don't want that, you just get rid of it. Okay, so let's have a look here. Let's see if there were any questions there. Okay, yes, some questions here. Let's see if I can figure things out from here. I'm going to start with this one then. Should we default? Okay. Should we default to multi-line of codes if there is more than one code, or is there a professional or preferred count before switch from single code? Okay, so let me explain that. There is something called a block of code. So this is a block of code, okay? You can put as many lines as you want inside, okay? The way in, you're gonna see that in a second, but the way you can output, let's say a property from students, then you can say something like at s.studentID. So when you say that, you are outputting this property right away back to HTML. So it's not like you can use this or this, or this line or this block of code. They have different purpose. The purpose of having at and then the property right away, or the whatever value you want right away, is to output. Is to give an output. This is not. These are not code blocks. This is just for outputting, just to output information to the rest of the HTML. These are not code blocks. You cannot. Well, you might be able to. You can, but you cannot write more than one variable here. You could do something like this, but what I'm trying to say is that this at here, the syntax, is just to output information. Here, you can have multiple lines of codes doing some, maybe you have some variables here that are doing some calculation, but they have, again, they serve different purpose. Okay? So this is a code block, and that is just a variable that is getting output. Not sure if this is clear enough, but let me know if you still have a question about this, okay? Let's see here. We've learned that a model never interacts with a view. However, in Razor syntax, we are using at model. Okay, so here is the thing. We don't link data directly to the view. We give data to the view. It does mean that the view cannot have a reference to the student class. The view can expect a student. So just because I'm saying this, see, in the view, I say at model students. And anyway, that's where that question comes from. But you said that we should not have communication directly from the model to the view. This is not a direct communication. We are not here. This is not data yet that I'm giving. I'm just saying this view is expecting a student. But that is not the student yet. That's not the data. Who is giving the data to the view? Who's doing that? The controller is doing that. The controller is doing that right here. You see, home controller. When I say this, when I call the view and I give the student here, that's the controller that is giving, hey, view, here's a student for you. Give me the output from, give me your view back based on this student. Here's the data. This is the data. And the controller is sending the data to the view. Now, in a real system, we're not going to be hard coding this. We are hard coding because we don't care right now. Today, we don't care about the data. We care about the view, and we want to output stuff. So, but eventually, when we're going to get to the sports store example, data will come from somewhere else. Somewhere else will provide data. In our case here, again, we are just hard coding this to get to the view, but the view is receiving the data. The view does not have a direct tie to the data coming from the model. It just has, hey, view, you should expect a student here. I'm gonna send you a student. Who sends that? The control sends that. I don't know if that convinces, but that's the explanation. Think about the data, not so much about the structure of the student. Yes, we have a reference to, again, I'm just saying here that this view is expecting a student, but this is not the actual student yet. I'm just saying, be prepared for that. Okay, is it simple? Is it simple a preference between using text tag or yes, it is. It is just a preference. You can use text tag, and then inside you can put whatever text you want, or you can use @ here. When I get to that, I'll explain this a little bit better. But yes, it's just a matter of preference. It's easier to use that. Okay, when a big block. Okay. So I'm going to stop just for a second on the points here. I'm going to explain the 7, and then I will come back to the questions there. So I'm going to flip here to the codes. Okay, so we have to go to our list students view inside the loop. First, I'm gonna show you the if statement. So here we have the if statement syntax. We call the symbol, and then we write the if statement. And this is very much like a regular C# if. We open curly braces. This symbol here, you see the @ and column. It means that everything after that is just text or HTML. This is not code. This is just indicates that what comes after that is not code. It's just plain text HTML. Okay? So if it's this, then output -grade GPA. Else, output this. One quick note about Razor when using if statements is that even though it's just one line of code here, and in C#, if you have just one line of code inside an if, the curly braces is optional. You don't have to use. However, in Razor, you always have to use the curly braces opening, the curly braces closing, even if it's just one line of code. Okay? So, as you can see, you can mix codes with plain text. The alternative, as someone mentioned, is that you can actually use a text tag. So you can say something like this. This is one option. The other one is you can say this. Text. So is it text here? Let me see. Yeah. So you can also say like this, okay? One or the other. I'm just going to keep using this one for now. So any questions about the if statement there? Remember, this is just output. So if I no longer want to show GPA, I can just get rid of it. I can delete that. This has no relation to this if here, okay? These are all independent outputs. We are just outputting those stuff, Any question about the else if? I'm going to move to switch, and then I'll go back to the questions there. So switch, a little bit more involving. You have, similar to if, you have the @ sign, and then switch. I'm going to test the value of the student course code. And then I have the cases here. Case this string, this, or the default. And again, we know now that at column, after that, it's HTML or text. So if it's this one, print out this one, break it. If it's this one, print out this, break. Otherwise, default at other course. So very similar way that we do a regular switch case statement in C#. Give a second for you to digest that. But that's about it. Let me go back there to the remaining questions. Okay, how will be the structure of the test? Okay, the test will be something like what we're doing today. We're going to have a series of steps to follow. And
So steps you like this.
I'll have to double check, but I'm not going to give examples of the steps. I'm going to say, do this, the application should have this model, this view. These are the views. This is what is, yeah, like the assignment, very much like the assignment. Now, of course, you have to be able to do that within an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes. Okay. So if you need any more details, let me know. But that's about it. Okay. Okay. I don't know what's the question here.
I don't think it's a question.
It's just stated in another way. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I think that something like this could work. Here's the thing. Let me show you this. I could also just do some imitation. I could also do something like this. And you're going to see that it's a little bit strange. Why did I have to put this here and I can just do a line like this? Why don't I have to put at column right here? Because Razor is smart enough to know that if you started a line, and I know that there are quite a lot of space here, but think about the start of this line as being right here. So if you're starting a line with a tag, like greater than, and a tag like P, it's smart enough to figure out, hey, this is not code. This is really HTML. So I should output this. But in a case like this, because you don't have a tag in this segment, you don't have a tag like P, it does know. It does know, is it code or is it just HTML? Because it does know and it cannot figure out on its own, I have to use something like this to say, hey, what I'm trying to do here is not code. This is not code. This is plain HTML. But if I'm using a tag like this, again, Razor is smart enough to know this must be all HTML. So why did I say that? Because of this example here. This is the same logic, okay? Why a single line expression does not require a semicolon at the end of the expression? A single line, okay, so I'm assuming that it must be mentioned, we must be referring to something like this. Because this is not really a line of a regular line as we know in a code block. This is just, we are just outputting this. This is just the syntax to output something as back to the HTML. So this is not really, well, you can argue that, but this is not a regular line of code as we know in C#. We are actually outputting this back to the HTML. That's the explanation. This is not a regular line. I assume JavaScript and Razor C# is very similar. Which one is preferred? Okay, those are two different things. You're comparing here apples with oranges here. Apples to oranges, because JavaScript is usually, and of course you have nodes that you can do some server-side coding, that's fine. But remember that Razor and C#, those are back-end coding languages. JavaScript, in the context that I'm assuming here, is a front-end programming language, okay? So it's not about one is better than the other one. It's just that, at least in our context here, they're used for different purposes. They complement each other in a way. Is it possible you make some review similar to the test? Yes, I'll be actually, what we're doing assignments, we're doing exercise, this type, so it will not be too different from what we are doing already. You have gone through Power Invites, you're going to be going through Sports Store. It's all more or less the same. So it will be along the same lines. You will not be asked to do something that you have not done during this time that we do those kinds of exercises, okay?
We have to deal with database or no?
If we have to do?
Deal with database, separate database?
For test one, I think that for test one we already have covered some of the database. So most likely yes, but I can confirm that. But most likely yes. Okay, is it possible to make, okay. How can we use more, okay, if you slow down there, how can you use more than one object in the CSS, the CS HTML file? Okay, I got this question before. I'm assuming that you are saying, how can I send two objects to the model? Well, model will only handle one class, one object. If you need to send two objects to the model, like students and faculty, you have to create a third class that would be a combination of both of them. I don't want to go through too much about that right now because you're going to cover that later in the course. But there are ways. You create a third class that is a combination of both of them, like a group class that has a student and a faculty, and then you send this group class to, again, it will, by this time, in a Friday night, 10 o'clock, to get through that, no, let's not try that. It's too much. Are we using /n to make multiple lines of outputs and when using at? Okay, /n is used for output in a console application. If you are using HTML, /n will not make a difference. You can have 100 /n's between two words. They will still be next to each other because it's not HTML. How do we break line with HTML? BR. So you have to use BR. So again, we are not using -n for /n for breaking lines in HTML. We use BR. Are we going to post student system? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. As soon as we are done with those questions. Assume JavaScript. Okay, so I think that's, yep, I think that we covered them all. I yeah, I think we did. Okay, so I'm going to do just that right now. Okay, so did I put in the right place? Sorry. Yeah, okay. So I'll be demonstrating the last step here. Actually, before that, I don't want to leave this for too later on. Just a quick reminder, assignment 1 is due in a week and a day. So next Saturday. Okay? Not tomorrow, the following one. Just a reminder. Any questions about that?
Do you need like these things to implement in the
No, you don't. Again, assignment 1, what we covered on class 2 was enough. It's just navigation. Actually, I'm thinking for next section, I'm going to make it more complicated because everybody thinks that it's more complicated than should it be. Yes.
Well, the navigation should be every page. You have to go to every page.
Well, here's the thing. I should be able to move along and be able to come back all the way to the home page. I should not be required to type anything in the URL to be able to reach any view. How you accomplish that? I'll leave it up to you.
Your design doesn't matter.
What is that? No, the design, the colors, I'm not going to be judging, evaluating how pretty it looks like, you know. It's really about navigation and, yeah. And did you use a style sheet? Did you put an image there? Maybe as a logo or maybe something. Again, go item by item of that list and make sure that you cover. If there is an item there that you think, oh, I think I covered this one, make sure that you know what the item is about and check with me.
No, like when you say navigation, I should go to navigation bar and all those.
Well, you can have just a bunch of links side by side at the top, you know.
So all the recipes should be on homepage.
All the recipes?
Yeah.
Well, no. We have a list. There's a list there. So that's in that list. The homepage should show the links, maybe an image, but again, homepage should be very clean, I would say, very clear. The homepage, it's one view. You have a list of recipes, which is another one. So each view has a different purpose.
So homepage have
Navigation.
only have list. When you have a list.
Well, you should be able to add. How are you going to add the recipe? Where is the add?
Recipe list. From the list.
Well, you may want to put add recipe in the home page as well as part of the navigation.
For the recipe can be a form.
For the add recipe, yes, it is a form, but you don't need to save the information yet.
And for now, just to make a button there with reward.
A button? Yeah, but for instance,
For the form.
yeah, but it should have an input for, I assume that the recipe has a name, has a description, maybe has an ingredient, so it should have the input boxes.
For assignment 1.
Yep.
So I don't need to put the picture except the homepage.
Except, well, homepage should have a bit of color, maybe you have a logo in mind. Oh, put a logo. You just draw 2 lines and it's the logo. Again, I'm not judging for how beautiful is the logo, no? Okay? Any other questions about this? And a quick one here, bonus for next class. We're gonna get now started in the sports store. Another big exercise, but again, it will be similar to what you're gonna be seeing in the test. So for the next 5 weeks, we're going to go through this sports store exercise. It's 5 chapters, chapter 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have videos for all of them already done. For next class, this is about half an hour. Go through videos 1, 2, 3, 4. Execute on them. Come to class with a base knowledge. Ask 3 questions, submit, and that's your next bonus. You can use this link to, I don't know, I think it's the videos. Yeah, you can find the videos here. The videos, I have also posted them on eCentennial. So under week 4, at the top, you see, bonus 6. Here is the playlist. You can find videos 1, 2, 3 right here. 3 questions, uploads, deadline, next Friday. Nothing too different from what you have done already quite a few times here. And let me do this one so we can all go home. Okay, so quickly, I'm just gonna add Bootstrap. What is Bootstrap? It's a CSS what? A CSS framework, okay? So we're gonna use something that is called libman, library manager. Library manager we add to our project by doing this. We right click on the project and we go to manage client-side libraries. Click there. It creates for us this file called libman.json. In that file, we have these libraries. We put curly braces, we open that up, and then we type library. It shows up there, we hit enter, and now I can type Twitter, because Bootstrap was originally created by Twitter. So if we start typing TWETT, and then we see Twitter Bootstrap. I select that, and I'm going to hit enter again here. It will add automatically the latest stable version of Twitter for me. At the end, I put a comma, I hit enter. Now I have to tell it where it should save the library. So I have to tell it the destination. So I type in des, it shows me destination, I hit enter, and now I have to say where I want to store Bootstrap in my project, which folder, which location. Well, for libraries like that, we're going to add them under the www root folder. So I'm going to say www.root/lib for third-party libraries like Bootstrap /Bootstrap. Could it be something else here? Yeah, we could create another folder. I'm just trying to use here some sort of standard. Now look at this. When I save, look, right now there is no expansion here under www root, but when I save this, Visual Studio will download Bootstrap automatically for me. I'm just going to save it, Control S here. Look, it did already, you see? It created the folders for me, and it downloaded Bootstrap framework. This was not done locally. It went out there on the web, grabbed Bootstrap, and saved it here for me.
Are we going to have to do that in the test?
Yes. Actually, Bootstrap, it's yet another step that will be part of all your assignments. But that's about it. I mean, you can have this file saved, and you can just copy. You don't need to remember all those steps because, again, you can open student system, part invites, and just use whatever is there.
This link, I can only go to that underscore sharing here only.
Okay, this link here, you mean?
No, the total link. After each title, we give the link, right? The Bootstrap link for CSS for everything.
You mean the classes?
Yes.
Yep.
So I can only give in the shared folder that it will be shared to every view.
Oh, yes. Actually, yes. That's correct. That's what I'm going to do next. So we went through the first, the second. Now we're going to go to the third one, which is we're going to go to our basic layout. So under shared basic layout, we're going to make one reference to Bootstrap here, and it will be available across all the other views as well. So I'm just going to go, and I'm going to say, this is a link. Relationship, it's a style sheet. And I'm going to say where is it. So it's href, if I'm not mistaken. And then it's under lib. It's under bootstrap. It's under CSS. And then we have bootstrap min CSS. And then I can close this here. Now, I'm going to get rid of this tilde. Sometimes this does not work that well, so I get rid of this. Now, who can tell me what this means? What min means? Is it? Zip? It's kind of similar. Yes, it takes out the spaces, the line breaks, and it puts everything very condensed. It takes out comments. Why is that?
The mobile version.
Space, because now I have to transmit that style sheet. So the less characters we have inside, the smaller the file will be, the faster it will be transferred. So we use the minified version. Min means minified. Remove comments, remove extra spaces, remove extra lines. Okay, we are almost done. So we have to put a class called table in our student table. So we're going to go to list students. And here under table, I'm going to say class equals to table. Again, table is a class definition defined inside Bootstrap. Okay? I'm going to run this. Class here, this name? Because it's a class defined inside Bootstrap. Okay? It's inside Bootstrap. So it will make the table look a little bit better. Now, let's see if it did that. So I'm going to go there, and to be honest, it's not looking any better. Let's have a look here at the view source. See, this is the reference to Bootstrap. If I click there, it's giving me an arrow, which means that Bootstrap is not getting loaded because we're missing one line of code. We're missing this particular line of code here. So we go to Startup. Under Configure, we're going to use what? Yes, we're going to use app.static use static files. With this line, then www root folder becomes available and accessible to the application. So app.use static files. If I run now, see, now we already see a little bit of a difference. And now our table looks a bit better. It's taking up the entire width of the page. Okay?
But which JSON did you use?
Which what?
I've tried to search for JSON, but there is lots of files. But which one did you choose?
That JSON, Bootstrap.
No. Libman.
Yeah, so
Okay, so if I delete this.
yeah, delete that. So right click on the project. Right click there.
Where's www?
And then here, see? No, not there. Client library, client side libraries. That's it.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, I'm just going to upload the code there, which has all of what we have covered. And source code. And that's the last file. And that's about it. Yep, we have gone through this. again, I'm just gonna see if there's anything else. Yeah, we have 2 quizzes here, but only if we had time, and we don't have any more. Here's a summary, just a quick recap of what we went through. We basically covered everything. That's it. I'll still be hanging around for the next 5 minutes. If you have a question, if you want to show me anything or ask me anything.
Post the number, okay?
I just posted. No, just did. Just did that. Okay. Yep. That's it. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all next Friday. Sure.
I'm going to go call. So
No problem. Thank you.
you don't mind using your like email and then name.
Yeah, sure.
Reference.
No problem. No problem. Yep.
Excuse me, I do have a question about, I couldn't deliver the data.
Let me have a look there. Yep.
I defined the list another way, but I think it's working.
Okay, so you created each student, correct?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you have this constructor. Yeah. So you're gonna just say students.add. So forget about this. What you put here. Delete this. Just keep the line, semicolon there. Get rid of the next line.
I used to correct it as add.
No. Call students. Students.
Okay, student.
Sorry. Students. Dot add.
Yeah, I used to use it.
Parentheses, and then add each student. Student 1.
Semicolon.
Yep. And then keep doing that.
Actually, I used this one, but it also didn't work.
Okay, so let's see. Because it should.
So
Let's see the list. List there. For each. Yeah.
just copy all your codes for your file.
Should work fine. Let's have a look.
So
Okay. Okay. So let's have a look there. No, the home controller. Can I see the constructor? Can I have a look at the constructor? There. The student constructor.
yeah.
Okay, you are doing the opposite. This is
Oh.
it's all inverted here. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, got it.
with that it should work. It will work.